Hi, I'm Vera VanGuard for FirstGlance Film Festival, and I'm here with the world premiere of The Woman in the Room with actor Eric Crist and Nick Peetros, the fabulous producer, the guy that made it happen. And this is a really interesting, dark story. I'm going to need to know what inspired you guys to go with this, and I want to know, is it all in his head, or is there really a woman in the room? Tell me how the writing process and this came about.
Well, about 3 years ago, I decided that I needed a new project. And
Right.
a friend of mine, a fellow producer, suggested that I do a dollar baby. I said, well,
What's a dollar
what
baby?
the hell is
Yeah.
a dollar baby?
Yeah.
So he explained it to me that, for $1 you can get the rights to adapt a Stephen King story into a short film. And I was all over it. I mean, within minutes, I'm on the web and I'm looking up how to actually make this happen.
Mhm.
And that was it. And
Did you always have Eric in mind for this, or did you know this was gonna be the thing
that's
that brings you
I
two
am
together?
second choice.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Believe it or not, there was another actor that had been cast
Mhm.
to play Johnny,
Mhm.
but he had some family obligations,
Mhm.
so we reached out to Eric, and we just had this conversation yesterday or the day before at the airport, and I said, quite honestly, as much as I love the other actor, I can't imagine anybody else as Johnny
No,
now that I've seen it and it's done, and yeah,
you
was
brought Eric.
fantastic.
You brought it. Tell me about, like, this is a really dark place you had to go. You are an alcoholic, and your mother is dying. Is she dying? We don't know. Is she
right.
real? Is she alive? Is she in
my
your
mind?
head?
Who knows? You
We
have to
don't
tune
know.
in.
You have to tune in. So tell us about, what is the dark of the? What did you have to, like, scrape out of your soul to play this?
A lot of it was dealing and thinking of people who are close to me going through a similar situation, and I've got some family history of that as well. So pulling that out, my kids actually were saying to me, "How? What did you imagine?" I said, "Well, I imagined your grandmother." And I just pictured that and pulled that into it. And fortunately, my mother in the movie, Susan Moses,
Who
was
did a fantastic job?
phenomenal. We worked so well together, and she calls me son still.
Of
So
course.
imagining her in this situation and what I would have to do with it, because she's such a good person, definitely helped bring the emotion out.
Yeah, it was strangely to me because my grandmother's 94 right now. She's like, "Eh, take me home. I don't want to be here." I'm like, "Oh my god." Flashbacks,
Flashback.
like
Deja vu.
PTSD. Like, well, going through something like this is kind of PTSD. Nobody really thinks about the caretakers and their mental state because they have to deal with an atrocious situation. So it's not just about the sick person, it's also the caretakers that have to go through the
Yes.
absolute trauma of not only losing someone or knowing that the end is nigh for the one that they love, but they have to cope with that somehow.
And
So
it's an impossible decision.
it
It's
is.
a choice that I wanted to bring out the sympathy for Johnny,
Absolutely.
the understanding of why he's going through this and how he's making his decision, and then having the audience wonder, it's like, how would I react in that same situation?
And I don't want to ruin it, but he probably did something that, like, I would probably do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
There's no way out. There's suffering. What do you do? What do you do? Like, what is the decision that you make? Right. Now, tell me about the post production, because I always like to ask about the editing, because it's always like, how is the filmmaker's process, especially on the indie level, because we deal with things that no one else with the big bucks deals with. We have to do most of the stuff ourselves. Tell me about the editing. The color correction was incredible. It had that somber, deep, dark blue colors of like depression. It like literally was cold, depressive. It added to the whole journey that your character's going through. Like, tell me about that.
So Danny Donnelly, who directed the film,
Right.
also edited the film
Of
and
course.
also did the sound design and the color correction. He's just and he shot the film.
The
So he was a
wonderkind.
cinematographer. So he gets all the credit for how beautiful it looks and how great the music is. We're a very small crew. There's only 6 of us, and I feel like that is part of the magic. Is that we all gel together so well. We know what everybody's skill set is, and we just get in and we get it done. We have a good time, and we keep it light. We keep it happy. Even as hard as it can be. When you're dealing with this kind of subject matter.
Well, when there's a cohesive group, it's smooth.
Yeah. And when you get into post production, Danny and I, we talk constantly, and I trust my team inherently to make the right decisions to produce the best film possible. And my team nailed it. So
you definitely nailed it. Yeah. It's great to have you at the FirstGlance Film Festival with the world premiere debut, first time on a big screen. It's going to be very exciting to see it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see it on the big screen.